We are live. Excellent. I'm going to move my light a little closer here. Our living room. We need to get a few more lamps because it gets to be a bit of a dungeon in here. We don't have any actual overhead lighting, and now that the days are getting shorter and it's getting dark earlier, it gets pretty dungeony in here. So something we're gonna have to fix the next couple days here. Anyways, hopefully you can see me all the way through this live because it's going to get dark as we're talking, but. Today, we're talking about how to actually use your fitness journey as a way to build confidence. I'm going to dive a little bit more into this because we know a fit body doesn't equal confidence, just like an unfit body doesn't equal insecurity. There's plenty of people who are very overweight and have a ton of confidence. There's a ton of people who are in incredible shape and have absolutely none at all. So, we're going to talk about that and how to actually use your fitness practices strategically to build confidence, right? If you're joining the live now, please hashtag your win. Drop it in the comments here. And I'm going to share mine. My win actually is I've taken a full step back this week, and I'm taking a bit of a deload week. My body's quite sore. Been pushing through, not through pain, but just feeling like I'm slowly not recovering as fast as I want to. And this week, it's a hard thing to do when you're self-coaching. But this week, I've fully committed to just pulling back, letting my body recover. And I know it's something that it needs, and it's something that's going to benefit me a lot. So that's my win for this week, is enjoying a bit of a deload week. Cool. Let's hop into the topic today then. I also just want to say happy Veterans Day and Memorial Day to everybody. It was Veterans Day in the U.S., Memorial Day, we call it in Canada. Just wanted to stop for a minute and just recognize the service that our grandparents and great uncles and all of those incredible men and women, the sacrifice that they made to help maintain the freedoms and the liberties that we have. They sacrificed more than we could ever imagine. So I can't not pay respects to them and share that here on the call. So yeah. All right. So let's move into the topic and let's chat a little bit more about this. So like I said, you can see a lot of people who have just rocking bodies. Like, you're like, holy smokes, if only I could look like that guy or that girl. And they have no confidence at all, right? We see people who have, we look at them and we're like, man, I don't ever want to get to that point, but they sure as hell have a lot of confidence. I wish I had that. So why is that? The difference is, and it's so simple, we all know this, but it's so simple to get caught up in what we're fed all the time through social media and TV and movies and music, and everything that puts input into our minds always tells us that, the better you look, the more confident you're going to be. But confidence is not a physical trait. It's not confidence isn't a sharp jawline. Confidence isn't a big bubble butt. Confidence isn't. There's nothing about confidence that's a physical thing. It's entirely an experience within our own minds. It's a perception of ourselves. It's honestly comes down to trusting ourselves. Confidence, in the simplest way that I can put it, is believing in yourself. Obviously, like, we all know that, but it's believing in yourself. So what does believing in yourself actually mean? Believing in yourself means that when you say you're going to do something, you got a lot of confidence. I mean, you're pretty damn sure that that thing's going to get done. It means that you believe that you can accomplish hard things. If you're looking at a task and you're like, man, that's going to suck, the insecure person's going to be like, oh, I'm not going to do that. I don't think I can do that. The confident person is going to go, All right, let's do it. Let's get to work. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm going to do it. And you see the confidence there, right? Confidence is how you carry yourself, how you believe in yourself, and how you perceive yourself. So, how do we create the belief? We can't just sit in front of a mirror and say, I'm confident, I'm confident. It's really good to use positive self talk. I don't want to kind of shit on affirmations and gratitudes because I do genuinely fully believe in them. But I also don't believe that they are the be all, the end all. We have to pair our words with our actions. We all know that you can say a lot of pretty things and do absolutely nothing. It's actions speak louder than words, right? So we can use our words to help us. We can use affirmations. We can pump ourselves up. Whatever the thing is that we want to gain confidence with, we can pump ourselves up using our words, but we have to follow it with action. We can't just sit there and go, I'm a confident person. I'm going to smash my macros today. I'm going to hit my training plan and get all workouts in this week. And that's all we do. We're not going to have confidence, right? We can say it, but until we do it, we don't believe in ourselves. So it's really quite simple. You build confidence through your fitness journey by proving to yourself that you're going to do the things that you said you're going to do. You build confidence in yourself by recognizing the things that you're doing well, by celebrating the little wins. You build confidence in yourself through your fitness journey by being able to understand that you can do hard things, right? Just because it's hard doesn't mean you can't do it. Just because it's challenging doesn't mean you're not smart enough. Doesn't just because it's heavy doesn't mean you're not strong enough. All of these things, when we start to prove these things to ourselves, we build confidence. So it doesn't happen overnight, but it happens progressively as you go through your journey. Right. So this is something I hold near and dear because I was a very, very insecure person all the way through into my mid 20s. Started to shift in my late 20s, and I was a people pleaser. I was pure extrovert. I was an adrenaline junkie. Everything that I did because I was so insecure with myself. I didn't believe I could ever really accomplish anything. And that's something like if you were to ever have a personal conversation with Casey about this and me, this is a topic that we've talked about so many times. And even to this day, we still talk about it sometimes because I have a core belief that I established early in life that I was not the person that completed things. And so I reinforced that narrative through so much of my life until my late 20s when I started to go to counseling, did a bunch of reading, I did a lot of self-help stuff, and I started to understand what I needed to do to build confidence so that I could complete things. And the simple answer is you just start completing things. You start small, and you complete the little things, and you complete more and more things. You build that confidence that you're going to complete things. So, and then obviously, this is a personal example about me and my one of the insecurities that left me lacking confidence was not completing things, right? But I developed confidence through my fitness practices. I will say confidently. How many times am I going to say that word today on this call? Anyways, I will say confidently that my fitness journey was probably 60, 70, 80% of where I gained my confidence. It's so simple because our fitness journey, there's no do or die. There's no uh, financial gain or loss. There's no real consequence. This is something that we do for ourselves because we want to. It's not something, and sometimes we kind of need to for our health, but you know what I mean? It's not like you have to be really good at a certain thing to perform at your job and you go and there's real life consequences like losing your job or not earning an income. It's not like it's a skill where, you walk into a hospital and you have to perform a surgery. You don't know how to do it and someone else's life is in jeopardy. Fitness is altogether rather trivial. If you think about it, it's really super important for our health, but our goals in terms of aesthetics and all of that sort of stuff, we can still live. We're not gonna die tomorrow because we didn't hit our workout, right? And so what I'm trying to drive home here is that it's a really comfortable place to practice confidence, because if you don't, if you miss your mark, it's okay. There's no big catastrophe that happens if you miss your mark. So you can try again, and you can try again and again and again and again and again, and as many times as it takes to be able to actually do that thing, right? It doesn't matter how many times you fail or fuck up or miss. You can do it again, and it doesn't cause anybody harm. It doesn't, you know what I mean? There's no real massive consequence to it, and that makes it a comfortable place because um, the amount of times we can try is limitless. So when you're going through your fitness journey week to week, day to day, you want to gain confidence and to come through this with confidence. It's literally about just getting better. It's the 1% wins. It's celebrating the wins. It's all of these little habits that we set up for you guys. The more you lean into those, the more you gain confidence. Because if your focus is on being 1% better every day, and you have a goal that you want to hit your macros within ranges 7 days a week, and you start at 0 days a week, and then you get 1 day a week, and then you get 2 days a week, and then maybe you get 4 days, and then you get 3 days a week, and then you get 4 days again, and then you get 4 days again, you get 4.5 days. You keep incrementing or working your way up incrementally to the point where you've actually accomplished the goal. Where we get lost is we start to slowly, because some of the changes don't happen instantly and it takes a lot of repetition and practice, we start to lose focus of the progress that we're making. Now, this is why we lean into celebrating the wins every single week on your check in, especially the hard weeks. If you have a hard week and say you don't have a win to celebrate, we are going to not allow that answer, because those are the weeks you need it the most. And those are the weeks where you need to remember all of the hard work that you've put into to get to the point where you are. Like I said on that example, if you go from 2 days hitting your macros and then you get 4 days and you backslide to 3 days because you had a really crappy week, those are the weeks where you're like, I have nothing to be proud of. I was worse this week than I was last week, but you're still better than 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. And that's important to recognize. When you recognize the work that you're putting in and the accomplishments that you're having, you're building the belief in yourself that you're going to do the things that you said you're going to do, because you're still en route. Just because you had a bad week or two doesn't mean you're not trying and you're not en route. Doesn't mean that you're back at square one, right? You're still progressing, and you just have a couple setbacks, which provide opportunities and lessons to learn from. So when they come up again, you can execute better. The more that you focus on these things and just being intentional and present with yourself, that I'm working really hard, I'm getting better, and I'm proving that I'm doing the things that I said I would do. I said I was going to be able, I said by, and I'm not going to go down into goal setting because I can make this a very complex call, but this is where goal setting matters, right? And if we look at, like, let's say you set a goal that in 6 weeks you want to be able to hit your macros with precision every single day, knowing it's going to take some time to get there. When you get there in 6 weeks, if you're not paying attention and you're not celebrating your wins and you're not recognizing the work that you're putting in, you're not going to gain the confidence from it because it's just not on your mind. But if you're thinking about it and you're recognizing those accomplishments and you're seeing every little win along the way, you start to realize, I'm doing what I said I was going to do. I'm proving to myself that I can do things that are hard. I'm proving to myself that I can overcome obstacles that I wasn't sure I could overcome or that I didn't even know existed. And the more you do that, you're building capability with yourself, and you build confidence, and that confidence translates through all of life. I promise you, it's not that you just got confident with your macros and your nutrition, because it's not, like I said, it's not a physical thing. It's not an external thing. Those are just pathways to build the bigger picture. The confidence is, it's an aura, as people like to call it these days, right? It's when when you become confident with macros, you can then understand that I have confidence because I did something that was hard. And anything that is hard, I can do. I proved to myself I can do things that are hard. And so that's where it translates into other things. That's where it translates into your relationships, into your workplace, into even hobbies that you're doing, into anything that you perceive as a similar level of hard. And you gain more and more confidence the more and more you do hard things, and the more you overcome them. If you were to do something like everybody wants to have the result like instantly, right? How nice would it be to we're just stepping back for a minute and we're going to gain a little perspective. So how many times have you just been like, I would love for this just to, like it for just a click. I'd be so good at macros, my habits would be perfect, and I would get the result, and I could just move on from this and maintain these results, feel great, and I could start thinking about other things. Right? It would be so nice to be able to do that like at a snap of the fingers. But if we could, everybody would do it. It wouldn't be hard. You wouldn't have any confidence. Hard, and it seems backwards, but hard things are things to get excited about. Because when you do hard things, the harder it is, the less people are doing it. The harder it is, the more people are quitting, the more people are failing, which in my definition is quitting. Quitting is the only way that you fail. Um, the harder it is, the less people are willing to do it. And if you do that hard thing, you have just put yourself in a different class of you're one of X amount of people who have accomplished this now. You're one person that has gone the extra mile that other people haven't done, and that's you gain confidence from that. You gain confidence from doing things that other people don't do and doing things that you didn't think you could do. So I know that it can be frustrating a lot of times in our fitness journeys when things are hard. But I encourage you to take the perspective of this is a challenge. It's really hard, but this is something that I'm going to grow from. And if I take this instead of focusing in on how hard it is and frustrated I am and how disheartening it might feel because I'm not getting the result that I want, or I'm just not picking it up as quickly as I want, you shift that perspective to this is really hard and I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going at it. I'm going to try and just be 1% better each day. I'm going to lean on my coach for advice. I'm going to get everything that I can from them so that I have every tool I need to succeed with this. And when I do, when I get past this, if I ever come up to this again, I know that I can do it. And I know exactly how I'm going to do it way quicker because I'm going to have figured this problem out along the way. And when I come up to other hard things, I'm going to know that if I just stick to it and if I keep my attitude positive and I keep my sights focused on overcoming instead of how hard it is, then I'm going to have the confidence to keep going. And it's going to translate. You're going to start to pick your shoulders up. You're going to start to you're going to approach people with more confidence. And so before Casey and I met, I would say, I don't know, at least in my experiences, one of the scariest things ever was going back into the dating world. Right? I got engaged when I was 18. I got married when I was 20, and I was single again when I was 26. And the world changed a whole lot from when I was 18 to when I was 26. I changed a whole lot, and I didn't know the dating game at all. I was like, I got engaged friggin' fresh out of high school, basically. I was out of high school. No, I was out of high school for 2 years before I got engaged. Right. So I went back into the dating world and I was scared shitless. But as I worked on my confidence and I gained confidence through the gym and all the other practices, I stopped caring. You know what I mean? Like it just didn't, I wasn't self-conscious about it anymore. My confidence when I went and spoke to people When I went and talked to a different girl or whatever, it was completely different. And I genuinely believe that is one of the significant reasons why Casey and I ended up together, because um, I was able to approach her and talk to her and engage with her in a way that I was just genuinely me. I was confident with who I was at that point because I had proved to myself that, no matter what it was, I could do hard things, and I guess I gained the confidence that it didn't really matter what other people thought, because if I was something that I wanted to do, I was going to do it. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that story. And again, just want to encourage you, use your fitness practice. Like I've been saying, use those 1% wins, focus on them, focus on celebrate the wins, focus on all the little things, and use that as a way to build your confidence. The more you do, the next level you get to, you track your macros 4 days in a row, that's your new baseline. You track your macros 7 days in a row, 12 days in a row, that's your standard. And keep building off that. It's going to build your confidence. Right. Hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday evening. And if you are watching a replay, #replay, drop your biggest win. And sit down tonight. Think about a couple areas to really target in on, things with your fitness practice, your habits, your nutrition, whatever it is that you want to improve on, and really hone in on those the next few weeks and focus on building confidence with them. As you do this, your results are only going to get better and better and better, right? So you have absolutely nothing to lose, everything to gain. Lean into this week, in the next couple weeks, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.